Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going lovely. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, we're making a birthday card today and I'm so excited. We're doing it in 5 easy steps and we're using some Waffle Flower crafts items. A few of them are part of a brand new release called Baking Fun. A whole lot of bacon this month and last month. But I was so excited about this. This is the table add-on cake die. Okay, this creates a birthday cake and a whole bunch of birthday elements. There's streamers, there's party favors, there's animal balloons, heart stars, even berries for the cake, which is so fun. This is actually meant to go with an older die set that Waffle Flower came out with. This is called the Table Runner. The Table Runner makes a place setting. I created a card with this, and I'll link that video at the end in case you guys missed it. But this is meant to go with this because there's there's place settings in here that you could use with a cake. We're going to do that today, and I think it's going to be so much fun. Okay, so we're going to be using this too, the Table Runner die and the Table Add-on Cake die. Also, new part of the Baking Fun release is a Nesting Postage Layers die set. This is the 8-piece die set. There's 4 postage edges, okay, and then there's 4 rectangles that layer on top, or you can layer them together to create a frame. And I just love this. We're going to use this for our home panel. Okay, there's also a new stamp set that is one of those sets that are nice for all occasions. In fact, it's called Mixed Sentiments. There's 9 sentiments in here. Thinking of you, hey there, best wishes, happy birthday, always love you, congrats to you, get well soon, hello friend, and thank you. So I got them all covered in this set. And then there's also a coordinating die that we're going to be using for our greeting today. I'm bringing in a stencil set that's not part of the release. This is an oldie but goodie. This is the brick wall stencil. It's been in the shop for a while, but we're going to be using this on our card. So let's jump in with step number 1 and create a cake. Okay, we're going to bring in some cardstock. This cake is really easy to put together. Waffle Flower made it really simple. For the cake base, which is the largest one here, actually I think I need a bigger piece of cardstock. Let's use this one. Okay. Okay, then you know what the cool thing is about this set? You see the little tabs on here? Right here, there's a little tab. Those are numbers. So this says number 1. Okay, so you know this is the first layer. And if you look here, this says number 2. So it's on the die, but when you die cut it out, of course you can't see it because it's on the outside. But it tells you the layers. I thought that was really neat. All 4 of them do. So you know how to stack it. So layer 1, this is layer 2. And I think we're going to go with some pink cardstock. And then we have layer 3 here. Layer 3, I'm going to use some white cardstock. And then layer 4 is some frosting. And I'm going to die cut this out with some off-white cardstock. Even has a little etch detail in there, which is nice. Okay, so those are our cake layers, but I do want to make some candles. So we're gonna die cut this out twice. Once with white cardstock, and then I'm bringing in some brown. Okay, we're gonna die cut out the candles with brown too. There's some strawberries in here, and I am gonna load it up with some strawberries. So I'm actually gonna die cut the strawberry piece out twice. Okay, and then there's the strawberry greenery that I'm gonna cut out with some green cardstock. And I'm also going to cut it, there's 2 stars. I'm going to cut out some stars with some yellow cardstock. And I'll probably do 2 sets of these. Okay, so that's everything in the table add-on cake die. Now, as far as the table runner goes, let's bring this out. There's 2 sets of silverware. I'm going to use the smallest, and I'm going to use some silver cardstock. And we're going to cut this out twice because we're going to need 2 place settings. This little plate I'm going to cut out with brown. These are the decorative pieces for the plates, and I'm going to die cut this part out with my teal. And then this has like little flowers on it, or little decorative detail. I'm going to die cut this part out with some off-white cardstock. Okay, I have a paper napkin. I'm going to use both of them and layer them together We'll cut those out with white cardstock. And that's everything that we're going to use in the, there's a coffee cup in here too if you want it. I think cake and coffee goes great together. But you could actually add the coffee cup if you want it to, okay? But I'm going to run all of this through my die cut machine, and then we're going to build our layers. Let's layer a cake. First, with this layer, I have them layered in the order of the dies that were numbered. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I am going to bring in my blending tools. I do want to add a little bit of edging with my red ink here. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of red ink and go along one side of the pink just to add a little bit of depth. And then we're going to add some glue behind here. And we'll layer it on the cake plate. And then we can add this layer. This goes in the middle. And then we can add our icing on the top. And that's all there is to that. Now I do want to add strawberries, so I want to take that same ink and then I want to add a little bit of color to the edge of the strawberries. I already made a few, but I want to show you how I did it. Okay. Then we can add little dots of glue to the top of the strawberries. And we can add the greenery. So our strawberries are all done. We'll put this over here with the cake. Okay, now I have my 4 stars. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, here's what I did with the candles. Okay, I took the brown and just using my scissors, I'm going to trim off the flame portion. I'm keeping the wick, but I'm just going to trim away the flame portion. I'm going to use my black marker and I'm going to go over the wick here. Okay, and then that's all I'm doing with this. I'm going to add a little glue, and then we're going to layer this brown piece on the bottom. Now, if you wanted to skip the layering, I don't mind the layering because it gives me a little bit of extra dimension. But if you wanted to skip it, you could just use brown ink, okay, instead of brown cardstock, and do the same thing. Just go over it with a marker, and then add the black over the brown, and you would get the same effect. I am bringing in a yellow marker. This is Y08. I'm going to add a yellow flame, and then I'm going to add an orange, which this is YR04. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of my R24 at the base. And we got some candles there. That's all there is to those. Now again, remember this is from the table runner die set. What I'm going to do is layer this piece on the teal. Okay, and we just layer them up like this, and then I'm going to flip this around, add glue behind here, and we're going to add this to the plate. And then I am going to add the white insert. Okay, so this goes here. So now we have a cute little plate that has some teal little decor. We're going to add a little more glue. We're going to add our napkin. You can add one or the other, or you can add both, and I'm going to add both. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little extra glue, and then we're going to add our silverware. I'm going to put my spoon on the bottom, and we're going to do a little crisscrossing. I'm not going to add the knife, I'm just going to use the fork and the spoon. do want to add a couple strawberries. So we're just going to go ahead and add a few strawberries here on our plate. So we have 2 little plates and those are all done. I think they look adorable. I am going to doctor up my cake with the rest of the strawberries. Okay, wonderful. I did have to die cut out another set of strawberries. So I did 2 sets of strawberries. When you die cut them out, there's 9 strawberries. So the cake took 8, and then I have 2 of these. So I do have a few extra so I can use for another day. But now I'm going to take the candles, and I think I'm only going to add 3 to my cake. And then there we go. That's our cute little cake with our serving plates, and then we have some straws. Those are our focal image. Now we're going to move on to step 2 and create our home panel. That's where our nesting postage layers comes in. We're going to go really basic and just die cut out. Okay, let's take the largest rectangle and the second to the largest postage edge. So this is going to go opposite. It's going to go square and then postage edge on the inside. Let's die cut this out with white cardstock, and then we'll die cut at the postage edge with some pink. Okay. And then we're just going to layer these together. Just add a little glue. There we go. That's going to be our home panel. We'll put this with our focal image, and now we're going to move on to step 3, which is our sentiment. For my greeting today, we're using the happy birthday, and I'm going to stamp on some ivory cardstock, the same color of cardstock that we used for the icing. Okay, I'm going to use my VersaFine Clear ink. I'm just going to stamp it here, and then I'm going to take the coordinating die and cut this out. And that's all there is to my greeting. Okay, let's put this to the side, and now we're going to build all of our layers with what we have here. Okay, first, I did put foam tape behind my cake. I only put 3 because I thought we would do a little tucking, but we're going to add our cake off to the side here. I always like to have things overhanging a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to add our happy birthday. Now for my happy birthday, I only put foam tape on the right side because the left side's going to overhang on my cake. So we'll add a little glue here. And then we can tack this down. Now, if I lower it a little bit, I could probably put 1 more strawberry in there. Let's try that. I'm going to put 1 more strawberry on here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we're going to put this to the side and move along to step number 4 and create our background. I'm going to zoom back out here. Now for my background, we're going to bring in our brick stencil. And I thought we would stencil on, I'm going to bring in my grip mat, and I thought we would stencil on some colored cardstock. So I have an A2 panel of the same color of cardstock that we used for the cake plate. Okay, it's a very light teal, and we're going to add our stencil right over the top. And then I'm bringing in some of a darker teal ink. This is Simon Says Stamps Surf ink. We're just going to add a little color. I always like to go in a triangle pattern. So maybe 1 here and maybe 1 here. Then maybe some over here. Lovely. I'm going to keep it out because I may use this again. But now I'm going to bring in some green ink. This is Simon Says Stamps Fairway. We'll pick up a little ink here. And we will go overlapping the teal. And then we can remove this, and then that's all we're doing for our background. I think that's going to make a great background. It's kind of splotchy, but I like it that way. I'm going to take this panel and put it on the front of my card base. Let's go ahead and take our birthday party. we're going to add some glue behind here. This is going to go in the middle of our background here. Okay, we're going to move along to step number 5, which means it's time to embellish. And I'm going to bring in some of my loved diamond stickles. I'm going to go over the stars with my diamond stickles. Okay, it's going to keep the yellow, but it's just going to add some extra sparkle because all birthday cards need some sparkle. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to bring in my glazing glue. Glazing glue is like glossy accents. It just adds shine. And I'm going to go over the strawberries. We're going to add just a little bit of glaze to the strawberries. Now, the glazing glue goes on cloudy, just like glossy accents, but when it dries, it will dry clear. Okay, and then that is my card for today. I think that is a fun birthday card. I think if you wanted to switch out the pink for some yellow and maybe put blue stars, I think that would look just as cute. I hope you get a chance to check out the Waffle Flowers Baking Fun release. It's super fun, lots of fun baking items over there, and I'll leave the link down below. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.